Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here with my special guest Hazel Marie, and we are just doing an intro for an awesome clip that you're going to see me and Jim talking about the best low BCX cards in the game. 1BX, BCX, 2 BCX, things you're going to play with in bronze. This is for all of my new players who are trying to understand the biggest way to improve your deck for the least financial cost. So stick around, stay tuned, enjoy the video. Make sure you drop a comment with your favorite card. And guys, thank you so much for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. You want to say anything? Thanks, guys. Bye. Look, guys.
Do we want to keep this to modern only?
Yeah, let's. So the way to think about it, I think, you know what I think the play is? What we want to do is we want to say a new player what cards do you need to have from every Splinter? What are the ones that are really going to move the needle? And at that lowest level, I mean, 1 BCX is going to do the trick. So that's the first criteria. We're looking at 1 BCX cards. Second, we're focusing on new players, so that probably means more of a modern focus. But remember, modern the current rules, the current cards, ghost cards include all of the common and rare, chaos, and untamed, and some of the rewards, and therefore we don't need to talk about any of those really. So I do think we should talk about alphas and betas and promos and some of the old reward cards, because those can absolutely help a new player. And those would include commons and rares, because those are not ghost cards. Those are not free in the starter pack. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's start over here with alpha and beta, because they are duplicate. Well, they're almost duplicate. There's
pretty much just do beta.
Yeah, you're right, because there's neutrals in here that are not in the alpha. So you're right, just beta. And then let's focus up on Splinter by Splinter quick. Hang on. Let's do old rather than doing just beta. Let's do beta promo. And then I'll do reward. Yeah, we better do reward now because there's a lot of old reward cards in here. No, I think we got to do that separate. So, okay, beta and promo now. And we'll go Splinter by Splinter, and then we'll do the modern cards, including rewards. Okay. So from the Fire Splinter at 1 BCX, thinking about the current, it's Tarsa, right? The Tarsa is the Fire Splinter summoner. And the melee buff she offers, that makes me, and the hit point buff she offers, that makes me really think Cerberus is quite, because one of his weaknesses is the 5 hit points, but he's going to go to 6, which is actually pretty cool. And the 2 turns into a 3, which is actually really great. And he's only 4 mana, so he's going to be playable in those
low mana.
Yeah.
Little slugger or whatever it's called. I don't remember.
The Little League.
Little League, that's it.
What do you think,
Also,
Jim? You see something that pops here?
The Kobold Miner is a monster here. 2 mana, 2 damage as well with the sneak.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's pairing really well with the 10-ye striker, along with the Serpentine spy as well.
Mm-hmm. I fully agree. Kobold Miner was the one I was going to say second, but I wanted to give you the space to get the right answer.
Don't worry, we don't mess these up.
Cerberus. Yeah, I'm going to write these down too, Cerberus and Kobold. For sure, I think, and Cerberus is $20, so maybe that's too much. But look, if you come in here and make a bid for 16, you can walk away with a little deal. Looks like if you're willing to buy more than 1 BCX, there's some deals, but probably that's high. Yeah, you're talking 100.
Now, if there is one thing I've learned from the older cards, that Molten Ogre is a monster right there. But we also have access to, who's that neutral one with? Disintegrator? I think that's his name.
Yeah. Disintegrator has you're talking about Demoralize as an ability, and how the new Disintegrator also has that. Yeah, but for 10 hit points, that's pretty, you're right. That's worth talking about for sure. 10 hit points is huge.
Goes to 11, goes to 4 damage as well.
And if you compare that to what we're seeing here on the screen, I mean, no one has, I mean, Serpent of Flame is really quite good too, although the 1 melee is really, really low. But the 9 hit points and the Retaliate and the 5 speed he's among the fastest cards you're going to see here at this level for 1 BCX across the whole game. Like there's only, I don't know if we're going to find a 6 monster speed at 1 BCX. So this is one of the fastest cards out there. And remember, Tarsa would correct his melee, you know what I mean? Improve it significantly. Yeah. So I'm going to say that those would be 2 I would look at too. Molten Ogre and Serpent of the Flame. And that doesn't mean I would buy all of them, but I would strongly consider coming away with 2 of those.
And if you're looking for a stun, that Pit Ogre, I think is one of the very few stun monsters at BCX1 or in Bronze.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I don't love him though because he's too slow and he's too. So he has 3 weaknesses. His damage is only 2, his speed is only 1, and his hit points are only 7. I'd rather take Molten Ogre for 3 more mana, even though he doesn't have stun, because the Molten Ogre has the buffed damage and a much bigger hit point pool. Yes, he costs more mana, but I think he's worth it. I'd even rather go Serpent and forfeit some of the damage output because that speed, he's going to dodge. He's going to dodge a lot of attacks, and the Retaliate is going to double. Plus, the Tarsa is going to make the 1 turn into a 2 attack.
Doubling his damage. Very good.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of these cards are fine too, but in terms of what you would, I think those 4 cards really could move the needle for you and would be worth considering depending on your budget at Bronze, even if you were focusing on a modern deck, because remember, you can play modern cards in the wild format. On the water side, we have the new summoner is Kalia, and she has +1 armor and +1 speed.
Who you going with, Dwayne?
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I think. Oh man, I think I might buy an Alric Stormbringer if I was just getting started and I just wanted to be. Now, okay, what? Only if I was going to play in the wild, and only if I already had, let's say, 15,000 collection power. If you don't have 15,000 collection power, then definitely don't do that. Spend the $50 or $60 on collection power so you can get up to that 15,000 and start fighting in silver. But even one Alric Stormbringer is going to open up that opportunity of that +1 magic with the blue team, which is so awesome because the blue team has an amazing magic team, and it really is a powerful, a game-changing card. So it's like that is probably going to be a carry card in the wild format, even at 1 BCX, I think, for the lowest levels. But because remember, it's not free anymore. Jim, what do you think about that? First of all, what do you think about Stormbringer? Is it too expensive? Am I wrong there? And then what do you think about what card would you pick?
Alric is a monster. He's able to buff really good creatures inside of blue.
Mm-hmm.
The Mischievous Mermaid is one of my absolute favorites. Mm-hmm. And then from Untamed or Dice or Reward, I forget, but it has the Untamed border. The Coral Wraith has Sneak with 2 magic attack. Going to 3 is very strong.
Yeah. Yeah, there's if we looked at other things too, like we pop in Reward, you get the Captain's Ghost, you get the Sea Genie, you get Oshannus, you get this is getting expensive, but so I'll walk away from that one. But yeah, I mean, Oshannus is a really great magic monster who would super benefit from seeing a partnership with Alric. The Sea Genie is quite affordable, and for 2 mana plus the 1 for the Alric is quite powerful. It's really easy to build, and Captain's Ghost has 2 magic damage, I think. Yep, turns into 3 because of Alric and Affliction. So it's really easy to build a powerful magic team if you had an Alric.
Don't forget the Wavesmith either.
Mm-hmm.
So my choice here is a little bit different, stepping away from the magic because I've been loving this strategy for a bit now with the Sabre Shark. Setting up with the Pellicor Bandit, who's a rewards card, with the other rewards card of Demented Shark, going a melee comp setup
Yeah.
when you have Kalia, or you can even use Bordis if you want to weaken down their magic users and just get in through the back.
Yeah. I think I
And
see a lot of
there's
value there.
actually only one difference between the Sabre Shark and the Pelacor Bandit, is that the Bandit has flying.
Yeah, I think that's got a lot of value. You're right. I like a lot of these cards. I guess if you were gonna take the advice and go Stormbringer, then I'd want you to start thinking about, okay, well, what magic monsters am I gonna have with me? I also would say having a Spineback Turtle is a reasonably priced 1 BCX Little League tank, 6 hit points, 2 armor. It's really not good at attacking, but that's not what it's really doing. This is a card that's going to cost you little mana, take up space, create opportunity for your backline to do what you need to do, and you put this thing in front of an Alric team, and that's going to give you extra mana left over to put into magic monsters such as the Mischievous Mermaid maybe, or that Sea Genie that was really inexpensive, or like Jim said, the Wavesmith or Oshannus. Like some of those are expensive mana. Oshannus is not cheap. If you can get a tank in there that can save you a few, this is, $150 or $160 for a card that is a decent tank. Maybe I would go that way. I would want to think that through with them in context of the modern cards, but it would be worth thinking through is where I'm at. Let's check out green.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Talk about him, Dwayne. Talk about him.
Oh man, this is interesting because obviously with the understanding that we have the new summoner, Obsidian, I gotta think for the same reasons you laid out, Jim, a moment ago with that sneak attack water monster. I forget his name. What was his name?
Coral Wraith.
Yes. For the same reasons that's cool. This is cool too. And yes, it's 1, but it's going to turn into a 2 because of Obsidian. This is a 3 cost. I think the Coral Wraith is a 4 or 5 cost. So that's why this is a bit less DPS. Yep. But it's a great card for Magic Sneak. This is one of the rare Magic Sneak monsters. And actually, green has a good sneak play. There's a few sneakers that they have at various levels. I like this opportunity monster. That's not exactly the same thing, but definitely, a strong consideration. I'm going to get carried away here if I look at reward and others, but I really like the Goblin Sorcerer, especially for this price. I would say 1 BCX is worth $4 for that card in the context of Obsidian. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, I think Goblin Sorcerer is a really good pickup because the Obsidian is a free card as well. And then
that's a good point.
Just slot this in.
That's a really good point. I forgot about that. Goblin. And you always need a tank. Is there a tank here that's going to be better than tanks out there? I'm going to say no. These are
BCX? No.
These are fine tanks, but they're super expensive, or they are offering something like what you can already get. We all know that you can get the really inexpensive Pelacor Mercenary. And I say this is your tank if you're just getting started. He's so affordable. Yeah, the Unicorn too. Really good call. He's Untamed, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah, that's probably, we'll talk about that more later, but I definitely think you're right there.
If you were going to spend a little bit more money for bronze, I would say there's no better pick than the Flesh Golem here.
Yeah, it's an amazing card.
Too good.
Yeah.
To be able to get that heal.
Yeah.
Every single turn, just gaining 3 health, and he's 6 mana? How much mana?
So if you have 5 BCX, first of all, then you're gonna get that heal with 10 hit points, and he's 6 mana. And so you're totally right. This is an amazing card. And you're only talking $25 to get that, but that's competing at, is that bronze still?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Recommon.
Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Wow. I'm going to say that would be, I'm going to say level 3 Flesh Golem. is, in my opinion, now that you put it that way. I didn't realize it would be in bronze. That makes my list. These are all good cards. Like, well, no, they're not. Let me say, Earth Elemental is a really good card, and I say that because six hit points is really great, and it's only doing a little archery damage, but that's not. It's like a secondary tank. You put this in the back line if you think you're gonna get sneak attacked. You put it in the second position, and then it falls into the first position when your tank goes down. And that 6 hit points is really good for 3 mana. So it's a secondary tank. I really like Swamp Thing because of the weaken and the 2 mana cost.
Attack later.
Yeah, he gets an attack at the second level. Great card. But
very strong.
And I love Orc Splitter, Stone Splitter, but really more. He's quite niche unless you get him into the high levels where I like to play him a lot. But again, focusing on the low level stuff. Obviously, Magi is great. 2 becomes 3, but he's quite slow, which I don't love. And for $27,
a problem in green.
That's
for Magic at least.
That's true. But I would say $27. I wouldn't point you toward him. Anyways, not for that price. Not unless you had, like I said earlier with the water team, if you already have your 15,000 collection power, maybe this is something you start to look at. But you guys got to focus on building that collection power before you start looking at really some of the top tier cards. And so cards like this I do think it's a top tier card, and this, but I don't think the cost is to the place where it can't be looked at now, even while you're building your CP. It's like it's going to be meaningful at 1 BCX or 5, and it's not going to break the bank. Whereas $30 is a lot of collection power these days. It's like 200 collection power per dollar. So you're talking 600 collection power, or this card is going to be 1 BCX is 300. So you could buy 300 collection power here, or you could get 600, buying stuff off of the compare window. Any other comments here, Jim?
I guess one thing to continue with, if you are thinking about the Magi of the Forest, but the $27 mark, $26, I think you're better off going with the Flesh Golem if you're putting that $25 in, getting him with the heal.
Yeah,
is overall the better bet.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Okay, let's go on. Life. Okay, so with life,
so many cards here, Dwayne.
Yeah, this is I'm seeing 4. I'm seeing 4. Yeah. Even 5 that I feel I need to have. Yeah. Which makes it tough. But here's Silvershield Knight is like, I'm just gonna say 1 for now. Silvershield Knight is the one that I would, and that's hard for me to say because there are 4 others here that I love and I really, really think you need to buy. But Silvershield Knight, Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, Silvershield Knight is definitely on that list. But if you guys are looking for a really good combo card to go with it, the Feral Spirit is one.
Absolutely.
But if you want to play more so to the strength of General Salone, you have access to the Peacebringer, who is a monster.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said
4 mana, 3 damage. Absurd.
I completely agree with both your comments. I think when I see this, I see Silvershield Knight with the Inspire. I know he's only got 1 hit point. I know he's only got 5 hit points. Or I mean 5 hit points and 1 attack. 1 turns to 2 attack. 5 hit points is a problem, but you probably play him. Remember, you're playing against bronzies. It's not like you're getting a lot of DPS to get from your enemies. Plus the speed with this team, right? 4 speed. Feral Speed's got 4 speed. Spirit's got 4 speed, and then maybe you can get 1 more. Actually, what I like is if you can do a nice inspired team, that's the way. Like I like it doing, like you can do triple sneak. Like think about the Silvershield Assassin for 7 mana, who I think has 1 melee, which will turn to 2 melee at bronze. and then you're gonna get 2 attacks from your Silvershield Assassin, 1 from your Feral Spirit, and that's only gonna cost you 16 mana for those 3 monsters. I think that's pretty interesting. And then maybe you throw like a Silvershield Bard or like a Creeping Ooze in the first position just to be a shield to give your knight a little bit more breathing room. But
or Conjurer.
Or who? Yeah.
The Pelacor Conjurer.
Yes. Great call. The Pelacor Conjurer is so cheap. And he's gonna stand in the way and let the knight stay alive longer. Because the key with this guy is not that he is gonna be at level 1 killing your opponent. The key with him is that he's gonna be inspiring your real workers, the Feral Spirits and the Assassin, and there are lots of other good ones too.
Yep. There's Uraeus. There's so many really good sneak units.
But I love that you mentioned Peacebringer. For sure, so good. 3 archery with this is one of those the white team archery in at the highest levels struggles with its speed, but these cards are relatively fast out of the gate. 3 speed is very reasonable.
3 is really good in bronze.
This one's 6 speed over here. Now the price is gigantically different, but this would be a strong maybe for me, especially if I was Sloan, especially if this was one of my aces, right? Because I always tell you guys, try and build one deck that's your ace, because wow, it's 6 speed, dude. That's so crazy. And with this guy and this guy, you're gonna be dropping 6 archery damage with Sloan, and that's gonna maybe kill the tank before the tank even has a chance to move. Yeah, that's interesting. Peacebringer, Silvershield Knight, Feral Spirit, and I was also thinking about Armorsmith, but I don't know about the lowest levels because you don't really have a bunch of tanks that have a bunch of hit points that are going to be benefiting. So I'm gonna mentally nix that. But if you have a vision to grow your play in this game and get into higher levels, this is a card that will be helpful. I play it all the time.
Oh man.
The Death Team. What's going on over here?
Okay. Is this for bronze or silver? Oh yeah, this is like BCX one's bronze. Yeah. Lord of Darkness, make it happen. No, I'm joking.
Just go, make it so. It's crazy.
Waka.
It's so good. It's amazing, even with 1 BCX. But that's crazy. Waka, yeah. 11 BCX always.
Lord of Darkness is 7 mana. He is so overly statted. Holy cow.
Yeah. I'd love to know more about who designed the Lord of LOD and what went into it, because there is stories behind some of these old monsters, and I know there's probably like Aggie was in there, or somebody, maybe Matt designed it himself, or I don't know, but I wish I was behind the scenes and I knew more about it. If this was a DVD, if the making of Splinterlands was a DVD, I would be all about the deleted scenes and the behind the scenes, the second disc. I'd be watching that because I'd want to know stuff like that.
The directors commenting.
Yes. Totally. On this one, I don't love any of these cards. I do love these cards, but for the price and who's the new...
We got some insider knowledge right here. Rondon was the inspiration for Twisted Jester.
Is that for real?
He says no joke.
That's awesome. Twisted Jester is one of the coolest cards, and in my opinion, it is a very powerful card with the snipe damage, 2 archery, and the speed. But I think it needs to be played in a certain context where you're getting a snipe play. Like I want a second sniper to work with him, and if you have that, this is a card I strongly recommend because its speed and 2 archery is quite meaningful. too slow. Animated Corpse, too slow. Haunted Spider, too slow. Spineback Wolf, really fast, but too weak in every other context. Archer, maybe? And that feels a bit underwhelming, doesn't it? It's like he's a minimal archer, but I do love having low mana cost monsters that bring affliction.
Yeah,
or
that
maybe
is the best part about him.
Or maybe this Haunted Spirit, but I don't feel strongly about any of that. And the Haunted Spirit for $15, I might walk away from all of this. I'm not 100% sure. I don't love any of this at 1 BCX.
The thing that really jumps out to me is the Skeleton Assassin. So, we were talking about the Inspire for life and also blue. When you're using Thaddeus, right, you're reducing their HP by 1. So it's really like, as long as it's that one attack getting in, it's kind of like he has Inspire because he's dealing the killing blow. If they have 2 HP, drop it down to 1, and then you can get in.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and sneak attack options are always important. Sneak attack is it's one of the main ways. Like, what are the ways you can attack in this game? Attack the first position, attack the sniper position, attack the opportunity or sneak. But I kind of lump those in the same. Those are because usually your weakest monsters are usually your second or your third through sixth position. Quickly look at just as an example. Is this going to be true? Let's just replay this one, see what happens. You're never going to put. It's rare that you're going to put this sort of setting. Like this is me being a bit cheesy, a bit cheeky. I'm throwing a 1 mana cost tank in the front, hoping that he gets a trample or a nice retaliate or something like that. But it would be better if I had a tank in the first position that had huge hit points. That's a traditional. This is not a traditional tank. And usually the back line from the 3rd to the 6th spot, you're going to see the lowest hit points. And that's true here, and that's true here. Generally, he has 7. Tenny Striker is like almost overpowered. He's so crazy with this.
Monster. Yeah.
But my point is, this is where the vulnerableness gets hidden, and usually that's where your main DPS comes from. You put them there so that they're hopefully safe, and that's why sneak attack can be so effective, because it can eliminate some of the support and the DPS that you're counting on. Now, it didn't work in this match because he really positioned himself specifically with a tank defender. And so he knew I've been playing this. If we look back at my plays, I've been doing it like several in a row, like red, 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 red. And each time I'm doing the same thing. And so he knew what was up. And so he just countered me by putting so that's the point. Like if you can put a sneak attack defender in the back line, it can be really helpful. But if you don't have that, sneak attack is going to get you, or it can get you. So I think maybe I agree, and I don't have anything better, frankly. So I'm going to say I Skeletal Assassin also.
Skeleton Assassin, and then also the Twisted Jester, because you have some other really good snipe cards in Death from Untamed and Chaos Legion. Yeah,
that's the thing. As long as you have those. Because you don't want to have a sniper shooting by himself. It, generally speaking, is going to wound a guy and then not take them off the battlefield. So your card is being a waste of space unless it gets that kill. If it gets the kill, amazing. If it's hitting something and it's not dying, then you've wasted 4 mana. But I think I hear you and I agree. As long as you get a partner for this guy, you're going to be able to delete whatever is in that snipe position. Okay, move on. We're starting to run low on time, and we still want to go through the modern. So let's see. Well, what does Death tell us?
Well, let's skip Dragon then, shall we?
Yeah, Dragons.
Especially beta and promo.
Look at these costs, anyways. Hey,
yep.
This is maybe worth looking at, though. Just
Delwyn.
Yeah, for that price, maybe one. I certainly think this is a powerful option. And this is a lot cheaper than the Alric, which was $50. So maybe Delwyn, and then just going. You could maybe get 3 of them and go get yourself. But look, because this is a common, it has different. It doesn't allow legendaries, whereas the Alric will allow legendaries. That matters for Oshannus in the context of +1 magic. So then you have to buy 3 of them to open that door for you. So I don't know, worth thinking about maybe, but yeah, otherwise these are way too expensive.
The other thing I like about picking up the Delwyn is when you're in bronze, even at like the higher levels, I don't believe they give you too many of the restricting colors. Normally you can play whatever color it is that you want in bronze. So until you're like like on the leaderboard or something, past the cap of rating, just can't go into silver. And so
you're saying you will likely be able to play dragon in conjunction with blue, in conjunction with your favorite magics, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. From the neutral perspective, let's see. Maybe another sniper. No, too expensive. Maybe another sniper here, though. I do like this one.
That one up. I love it.
Especially, this is going to work with your Sloan also. Yeah, this is my number 1, I guess. I like it.
And that and the Elven Cutthroat. If you want to go for a sneak comp, that is a really good card to be playing inside of Death, inside of Life, and Water with the Inspires.
Yeah, and then also even just the Fire 2 with Tarsa giving you the +1 and the +1.
Yeah, exactly. With Tarsa.
So yeah, definitely. So I think these two, Centaur for $1.70 and Elven Cutthroat for $3 is worth considering. These are going to transform your ability. I love the Peaceful Giant, but with 8 mana, I don't know if I love it at level 1. I think it's an amazing card when you get into these higher levels. 17 hit points, but that's not what the video is about. So this card also amazing at higher levels, but context for this video, and then maybe the Pixie is worth it if you're really doing like an Alric or you're doing a Delwyn Dragon Scale, because it's 1 more magic monster that you can drop, and it's not that expensive, but even better at the higher levels where it gets that Inspire. So Centaur Cutthroat, love it. Neutral. Centaur and Elven. I'm going to write these all down and I'm going to share them in the notes later when I clip this, because this will be something I think people will want to know about. Okay, so now that was all the old cards. The betas, I mean, we didn't look at alphas, but those are the same as the betas. The prices are going to be more expensive, in fact. So but we looked at betas and promos. Now we're going to look at reward, untamed, and dice. And chaos, I guess. But remember, we don't need to look at common and rare. We're just looking at epic and legendary.
Yeah.
Because the common and rares are included with your starting deck. Not necessarily all of the rewards.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. Okay. There's more cards on this page than there were before. I mean, Grum is, as far as I'm concerned, Grum is so good. But is he my pick? Yeah, I mean,
definitely know what my pick is.
Yeah, let me hear it. What's yours?
So one thing I know about when you're playing in bronze, people love to use magic. Tusk the Wide has put in so much work that I've noticed, with Tarsa putting him to 13 HP with Void.
Yeah.
Going to 2 attack as well.
Yeah.
He is a body.
Yeah, good point. I like that. I like that a lot.
He's huge. They rarely kill him if it's like an entire magic comp.
And he's not even a giant. He's like a 6 mana. He's not going to be giant killed.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess I'm bouncing between Forgotten One and Grum, but maybe I would just say you probably want both. Grum,
yeah.
Forgotten.
We can
one.
cheat a little bit, right? We make the rules.
It's my game. I'll make my own rules. Yeah, man. No, I mean they're different. Like the immunity is as we well know. We were recently talking about how powerful immunity is. It is super powerful. It affects almost everything. It seems like. And then
That is the thing.
say
If
that
we're talking about bronze, you don't have to worry too much about the immunity, like really helping.
Yeah, I mean I hear what you're saying, but yeah, no, I guess that's true. That's true.
You can't stop the summoner minus.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um,
But if there is the poison rule set, extremely powerful card.
the poison rule set is around quite a bit these days. I think it's worth the $3. This would be a card I would splurge on, even if I was a brand new player. It'd be a card I would splurge on. Now, I might wait though. I might say to myself, okay, yeah, I hear you. It's a good card and it fits a niche and $3 is reasonable. But I might say, okay, but Grum seems I think they're different, but I'd say Grum scratches the same itch. Like he's a high melee, armor and hit points, relatively slow, high mana cost, melee tank. That's very similar to the Forgotten one. Immunity is different, and that's a niche, and you might explicitly want that. But of course, Bloodless is so powerful. It doesn't win all the time, but I certainly play it a lot, and I find that it is one I rely on. So that would be my two. Let's see, we got 8 minutes left, so let's do blue. I think you want to look very closely at all of these magic monsters because of the reasons I laid out before. Alric, Delwyn, and that means definitely Oshannus. It means Nerissa, all of them. Like, just go through it. These are relatively inexpensive, really powerful. Resurrect? Are you kidding me? At bronze? And you bring out like an Oshannus or something like that, and to see that Resurrect be dropped on, yeah, man, Resurrect's awesome. There's your Coral Wraith, Jim. What do you think?
I mean, he's one of my picks if you have the Elric or if you're using the Delwyn. Same with Lobstradamus. Amazing tank going to two attack, 2 magic attack, and the speed doesn't really matter in terms of accuracy, but none of those are my choice here. My choice is the Axemaster.
Oh yeah.
Getting out those 2 attacks is huge. Being able to break armor and then go into face, or be able to take down 2 of their like really weak creatures, or if you break down their frontline attack, and then you can take out their like heavy damage dealers as well. Yeah, that double attack is really, really powerful.
Just buy a couple of them. You're right. You convinced me. I think I might. I think
just bought them.
Yeah, just a couple. I only have credits now because I got rid of all the DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially in the higher mana matches, which can be a bit rare in lower levels from my experience, but that doesn't mean they never happen. But I love to have him in the back line, just dropping bombs in like the 40 mana higher. But definitely, if you don't have Oshannus, you got to have him. Tridawn I like for $1.50 especially. And yeah, okay, let's keep her going. Green team, we probably have four, call it 4 minutes. So let's see. Must have.
Did we? Wait, where is he?
I mean, Mitica maybe. If the prices come down, this was about $20 recently. It's a lot of damage.
Did we not talk about Mushroom Seer in green?
He's under.
How did I skip over him?
He must be a rare. Yeah, he's
is he?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, he's a beta card.
No, there
Or
he is.
he's a reward. Okay,
So he's-
yeah, there he is.
So he's a reward, but he's a rare. That's why he didn't pop up under our search engine here. Yeah,
Okay.
you thinking him?
Yeah.
$20?
He is outstanding.
Yeah.
That silence, and remember, if we're talking about bronze, there's a lot of magic. Mushroom Seer is amazing.
For all the same reasons I was saying why you want to build a magic team, bringing a Mushroom Seer with silence, who's going to, by the way, be buffed by Obsidian, is a really great, I agree, a really great play.
There have been so many times where I throw in a Mushroom Seer, and it's the mirror match, right? It's Obsidian versus Obsidian. They don't have the Mushroom Seer. So our damage is supposed to go to the same, except now that silence comes in and reduces them back down to their normal attack.
I like the Mitica headhunter. I think I might, now that you remind me of the seer, if I was going to spend 12, I might first spend 20 and get the seer, the mushroom seer. But this is also a very powerful card for archery with the snare. It's a very powerful card. And then of course I like Djinn, biljka, and Grund. There's lots of good cards here, but those four, I think. Is there a second one that you feel you really got to say?
I was also going to say the biljka, because I am a huge fan with the 2 damage for 2 mana.
Yeah.
Or 3 mana. Also having the camouflage, so he's not getting hit until he's up front.
Yeah. I don't like his 1 speed, but I agree with you otherwise. White team, we got about 3 minutes. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Mistfang says Mushroom Seer plus Unicorn Mustang, totally amazing, great combo. Lord said Grund, bam bam, absolutely. The double strike is so crazy. Is Tales from the Cryptomancer here? Oh, he's a raiding party with 4. Nice.
Awesome.
He's scooping up 12. Yeah, and Rondon was calling me on scooping up those copies of the axe. Okay, let's see. White must-haves.
Prismologist, I think.
What's the deal here? Remember, we're looking at Sloan. I'm going to say, yep, Prismologist is great. I don't like the speed. I like the Thunderbird a lot with the 3 mana and the 3 speed, and it'll be 2 archery. Like it a lot. And then quickly look at the rare, because there might be a rare here that we would want.
Scroll up, the healer who has range for 4 mana. Crystalsmith.
Such a good one. Yep, right, absolutely. There. But is that included though? No, it's not.
That's a rare card.
Yeah.
So. And
it's a reward, so it's not included. So
my bad. Rewards. Yeah.
Yeah, Prismologist, great call. Prismologist and that healer. Crystalsmith, and in my opinion, Thunderbird and maybe Djinn. I'm not going to write them down because I want to keep going so we don't run out of time. Guys, before we go, thank you so much for your time and attention, but definitely want to just quickly black. You want Necrosi because he's really good and he's got the camo, and it's going to work in conjunction with that sniper that we talked about earlier. Dragon, Chaos Dragon, crazy. Djinn Chwala, so cheap. Jim?
Yep, exactly. Perfect.
And neutral.
Uraeus.
Yeah, Uraeus, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Have an amazing night, and be sure you come around next Friday also. We'll give away another pack, and check me out on YouTube, and Jim too. Jim Morgan HNH. How are we doing for time? We got about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. So thanks everyone for hanging out. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you again. I'll be streaming Tuesday.